WDVE listeners, we were looking for 60 rock stars, $10 a month, and you decide on how many months you want to commit to that. $10 a month, we were looking for 60 rock stars because that's how many children they see, kids of all ages, in the emergency room here, the ER, the Children's Hospital. 60 every 4 hours, and again, this is a level 1 trauma unit, so these kids, sick and injured kids, come from all over. This is the only level 1 trauma unit, Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, by the way, in this area that caters to specifically children. So we have another special guest here, and one of these stories, one of these great stories that we've been listening to over the last couple of years. Let's meet Tyler Skarzensky right now. He's 14 years old. Tyler, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Good.
Okay.
Had a good stay here at the hospital.
Well, we're going to talk about that, considering what you've been through, and we're going to meet your parents right now, Steve and Michelene, and you guys are from Erie. Hi, Steve. Hi, Michelene. Now, you hear about kids with cancer, kids with maybe a transplant issue, an intestinal issue, life-threatening complications, maybe a heart problem, maybe they were born prematurely. But Tyler is 14 years old, and there's a whole lot of ATV riders here in Western Pennsylvania, and sometimes things go wrong when you're on the ATV. So Steve, Tyler, you want to take over here? Tyler, you and your pal, you were a passenger from what I believe, and you were riding on your ATV up in Erie, PA. The ATV flipped a few times, both you and your passenger. How old is he? You're 14, the other guy was probably your age.
Yeah, he was a little bit younger than me.
Okay, he was driving and you both got tossed off the ATV and your leg, your right leg, was severely damaged. You figured this out quickly.
Yeah, when it happened, I just sat there and I'm like, whoa, I can't believe that just happened. And then my leg felt kind of weird. It didn't hurt, it just felt kind of weird. So then I looked down to see if there's like mud on it or something. Oh my gosh. It was snapped, hoping that you could.
I'm looking at some script here. You saw your bone sticking out of your right leg. There was blood everywhere.
Well, actually my bone wasn't sticking out. My leg had opened, so you could see everything there. Sorry, everybody listening. I'm trying to spare some of the gory details here.
Well, this is, geez, I mean, that you're here and you wound up at Children's, which is a place which you should have been, and you were life-flighted to Children's Hospital. But wait, so somebody went to get help, you're laying there, you know your right leg is really in bad shape, and so you went to your local hospital up in Erie, PA, and they life-flighted you here to Children's of Pittsburgh.
Their camp, this is just where we're at, my friend's camp, was driving out in Titusville, so...
I know where Titusville is. I used to go to camp there myself, Pioneer Ranch, Titusville, Tidiute, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was a long time ago for me. Sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
Oh, no problem, but yeah, an ambulance came, they drove us to Titusville Hospital, and after they cleaned it out a little bit, it was really, really dirty. There were like leaves in it and everything inside my leg there. And so after being there for a while, we were recommended to go to Pittsburgh, and we were flown here.
Helicopter?
Helicopter, yeah.
Were you conscious the whole time?
Yes, the entire time.
Now, as I understand, so you went straight to the trauma unit here at Children's, and they're working on your right leg, and they tried their best to save your right leg, but as you said, there was too much bacteria already because you flipped an ATV and there was dirt in there and twigs and leaves. They had to have your right leg amputated last Tuesday.
Yes, we've been here for close to 3 weeks now, and they spent about a week trying to save my leg. But it was too dirty, they just couldn't do it. It was too bad. It was only hanging off there by like an inch of skin. So they just figured, all right, we're gonna have to amputate. And we all, my family kind of knew that this is what was gonna happen, and we were ready. I was ready.
How can you be ready for that? Let me ask your parents, Steve and Michelene. So somebody obviously had to explain the situation that it doesn't look good for Tyler's right leg.
Yeah, we had several doctors that were explaining everything to us, and they were very straightforward with what the situation was and what we were looking at. They did the best they could with every effort they had, but it was just too damaged. It took a few days. We had to talk about it.
Oh,
all of us.
Who could imagine your 14-year-old son losing his right leg?
It was difficult. Something you never expect, something you can't imagine.
Who can imagine? I met Steve and Micheline and Tyler, by the way, last Thursday here at Children's Hospital when we all came by, the DVE folks, for a tour of the facilities again. And you guys were outside in the back atrium here, the Howard Hanna Garden here in the Eden Park atrium. So now, what's next for you, Tyler? Obviously, a lot of rehab. I'm looking over here. They took half of your right leg. What's next for you? What have they told you?
They told me that I'm just gonna have lots of rehab and therapy, and I'm going home in a few days.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
you're gonna have to get a prosthetic leg. Your dad just mentioned.
Yeah, so I'm getting a prosthetic leg. I'm gonna have to get used to that, get used to living life with a prosthetic leg, and it's definitely a life-changing situation. So, but.
You are so mature for a 14-year-old boy who just lost half of his right leg. But what's even more amazing is, here I'm looking at your bio, the script here. You hope to go back out riding on the ATVs again. God love you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let an accident, even if it's as big as this, I'm not gonna let it stop me from riding. I mean, it's something that I've always done ever since I was little.
How about Tyler, everybody? With 1.5 legs now, but he's going back to that ATV. And I just wanted to ask his parents, Steve and Michelina, and everybody's from Erie, tell us about your experience here at Children's, who was severely injured in that ATV accident. Geez, I mean, what do? You just, I guess, hold on to each other and move forward as best you can.
Yeah, that's all you can do, but the people here have been great. Doctors, nurses, everybody's been wonderful. They make it as good an experience as they can, not just for the patients, but for the parents. And, you know, we've had as wonderful experience as we could have in certain circumstances. We couldn't ask for any more. They've done great. That's why this telethon is so important. And keep supporting people is a great cause, and it's definitely worth it. It's amazing here.
And it's not just the children who are dealing with, again, we were talking about maybe a kidney issue or a cancer issue, or maybe looking at a multiple organ transplant issue. Certainly so many sick children come into the emergency room, the children's, but also severely injured children like Tyler Skarzynski from Erie, PA. The very best to you, Tyler, and also to your folks, Steve and Micheline. And that's why we were looking for it. Wow, we're up to 45 rock stars right now for all the kids who have to use the emergency department, the ER here at Children's Hospital. 60 kids every 4 hours for this level 1 trauma unit they have at Children's, and they come in from all over, including Erie, PA. The very best to you, and good luck in rehab, and the very best to you, Tyler, and also your folks again. 412-692-8900, just amazing stories from the kids and their parents and the doctors and the nurses here for the Radiothon for the 5th year with DVE at Children's Hospital. 412-692-8900.